Archangel Michael says, listen carefully, this may be your last opportunity to receive the $15 million blessing that has been prepared for you. The heavens won't offer this again. If you don't open this on August 4th, 2025, you risk missing what was destined. This moment wasn't meant for you to witness, but divine intervention made space for it, because time is vanishing faster than you realize, and your window for receiving this miracle is on the verge of closing. Archangel Michael says, my dear one, this is your final invitation. If you turn away now, it won't return. Don't challenge divine timing, don't hesitate, open this with full sincerity before it disappears. That odd tension you feel in your chest, it's not worry, it's the divine pressing on your spirit. It's heaven knocking at the doorway of your soul. And no, it's not a coincidence that you're seeing this message on August 4th, 2025. That date was divinely placed into your path, long before you were born. It's the moment the heavenly vault was set to unlock in your favor. If you choose to ignore this, that vault shuts permanently. You probably didn't realize it, but since 3:33 a.m. last night, Michael has been softly calling your name. He tried to rouse you, he gave signs including numbers. You may have brushed them aside, yet now you're here, and Michael is at peace, because this moment is when you finally started listening. And here's the truth he's urging you to embrace, this money, it's not just about the $15 million. It's a miracle that carries the restoration of your family, the activation of your destiny, the unlocking of paths others told you would stay closed forever. Michael says, child, ignore those who doubted you. You were chosen to receive abundance, you were made for overflow, not scarcity. But every divine promise has an expiration, and yours is approaching tonight. You've skipped signs before, but this one you cannot afford to pass by. The miracle has already been dispatched, your name has already been written on it by the angels. But your spirit must open, and be ready to accept what's already released. Wait, did you feel that shift, that tingling in your palms, that subtle change in the room's air? That's your confirmation. Michael stands right beside you now, holding a golden scroll with your name shining across it. He says heaven has waited long enough, this is the last call, open your spirit now, and nothing in your life will remain the same. The ones who mocked you will be astonished, the ones who doubted you will witness the elevation they never thought was possible. That home you've dreamed about, that business you've been planning, the healing your loved ones need, it's all connected to this blessing. But only if you open your heart, and claim it before the divine gates seal shut. Listen well, this is not some empty message meant to lure you in, it's a sacred test for your soul. God doesn't test by force, He presents divine chances wrapped in mystery. Those who believe walk through, those who delay miss the moment. Archangel Michael is clear, this is holy ground, and this is the final alert. Should you ignore it, someone else will be chosen in your place. At this very second, all of heaven has gone still. Your guardian angels are watching, the spiritual realm has paused. They're waiting for you to decide. If you continue reading, something supernatural is going to realign in your life within 72 hours. But if you scroll away, what you feel now will begin to fade. The silence will grow louder, and Michael will no longer be able to send this again. This message was not broadcast widely, it was hidden, revealed only to you. Why? Because your heart remained open, because God heard your cries when no one else knew. Because you've reached the edge of giving up so many times, but heaven refused to let go of you. That's why this miracle, this $15 million breakthrough, is still resting at your door in the spirit realm. Right now there is a white envelope glowing in heaven, bearing your full name in golden lettering. Michael says this envelope will either be opened and poured into your life, or it will vanish, burned away if ignored. The choice belongs to you, but the clock does not. This isn't a game, Archangel Michael says again. This is your final moment. August 4th, 2025 is the divine deadline. If the day ends, and you have not received it, the miracle will be reassigned. You were called, don't surrender that calling to fear. Don't walk away from what God has attached to your destiny. And if you've been quietly asking for a sign, here it is. Michael now asks you to do something, as your spiritual response. Subscribe to this message now. That action becomes your soul's yes, it is your contract. Once you do that, Michael will begin moving on your behalf, within the next 24 hours. But if you skip this, the angels won't be allowed to move. Pause, breathe deeply, because what's coming next could shift everything. Before you even opened your eyes this morning, your spirit already said yes to this miracle. That odd dream you had last night, the one that didn't make sense, that was heaven trying to show you what's ahead. Michael spoke to you in symbols, in colors, through numbers. Now he's speaking clearly. This is not just a message, it's a spiritual exchange. Faith isn't just belief, it's the currency of heaven. God doesn't reward loud desperation, He honors deep belief. And Michael has seen yours. He saw you giving, when you had nothing left. He saw you forgive, when no apology ever came. He saw you praying in silence, asking God, when will it finally be my time? This is your time, this moment is what your journey has been leading to. Don't let your logical thoughts erase what your spirit has already accepted. Your mind will doubt, but your soul recognizes what is divine. And this is divine. $15 million sounds impossible, but God doesn't give based on what makes sense, He gives based on what you're called to impact. And Michael says you are meant to change lives. That's why your gift must be large. You've endured too much to quit now. You felt betrayal, abandonment, heartbreak. People walked away like you never mattered. But God never turned away. You think this is just another day, but heaven has had this moment etched into your destiny, since before you took your first breath. That's why everything feels different right now, why your heart is racing, why the room feels still, why there's a pressure in the air you can't explain. Because the atmosphere has changed. It's not your imagination, it's revelation. Archangel Michael says the shift has already begun, your spirit moved before your body did. Your name is already echoing in the halls of heaven. That sudden calm washing over you. That's what it feels like when the supernatural meets the now. You are not here by mistake, your soul was guided, nudged, even pushed into this moment, because heaven refused to let you miss it. The miracles attached to this aren't accidental, they're intentional. This $15 million shift is layered with more than wealth, it holds freedom, peace, legacy. It's what your ancestors prayed for, it's what your future generations will thank you for. But it only happens if you say yes right now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Archangel Michael says, this moment won't repeat, this window won't stay open, and you've come too far to watch it close. Maybe you've been second-guessing everything lately, maybe nothing seems clear. That's because your breakthrough is near. Confusion always tries to step in, right before clarity is born. The enemy tries to send fog, before the sunrise. But Michael says don't mistake the delay for denial, don't confuse spiritual pressure with punishment. You are being positioned not punished, you are being called not cast aside. And yes, people will question your shift, they'll wonder where this strength came from, where this glow came from. They won't realize it's not you, it's what's been placed upon you. Favor, that's what they're witnessing. Archangel Michael says the scroll has been sealed, your assignment has been reactivated. And heaven is already dispatching angels to clear your path. But you must act now, the clock doesn't slow for indecision. That number $15 million was not picked for drama, it's prophetic, it holds numerical weight in heaven, it represents divine alignment, multiplied favor, generational inheritance. This is not luck, this is alignment with timing, that was delayed only so your heart could be ready. You weren't always ready, and that's okay. But now you are. That's why the signs have increased, that's why you keep seeing repeated numbers, strange dreams, feathers, songs that hit your heart too precisely to be coincidence. These aren't just signs, they are confirmations. Heaven has removed every excuse. And if you're wondering why Michael has an answer for that too. Because you stayed soft, because you didn't give up when you had every reason to. Because even in your silence, your soul kept whispering, I still believe. And heaven heard that whisper like a roar. This blessing has your spiritual fingerprints on it, your energy has already touched it. But it won't release until you say yes, not just with words, but with belief. You may not feel ready, you may think you're too broken. But Michael says it's your wounds that qualified you, it's your scars that caught God's attention. You didn't go through that pain for nothing, you endured it because you were carrying a crown you hadn't yet seen. And now it's here, the crown, the confirmation, the compensation. But the question remains, will you pick it up, or walk past it again? Archangel Michael says this is not about the money, it never was. It's about obedience, it's about honor, it's about whether you trust heaven more than you fear disappointment. That's why your heart feels like it's standing on a cliff right now, because you are. One step forward and everything changes, one step back and the opportunity fades into what could have been. But you were never meant to live in almost, you were created for fulfillment. The money you're being offered isn't just sitting in a vault waiting, it's moving, it's already circling your name, it's already pressing against your timeline, pushing its way into your story. But miracles require permission, and right now heaven is asking for yours. Michael says speak your yes, mark your moment, activate the shift. This is what surrender looks like, not losing, but letting go of the fight to do it all alone. You were never supposed to carry it by yourself. That's why your body feels tired, that's why your spirit feels heavy. But Michael has come with divine reinforcements. He's not just offering a blessing, he's offering support. You are being lifted, not just rewarded. And it's not too late, that part is important. You haven't missed it, not yet. But you will if you stay still. Archangel Michael says, let this be the day you remember as the turning point. Let this be the line between your past and your new beginning. Say it out loud if you must: I receive the miracle, I accept the shift, I believe I am worthy of this blessing. Because that simple belief, spoken with your full heart, is what unlocks everything. Don't wait until life forces you to change, step into the change before the world catches up. That's how destiny works, it rewards those who move before the signs become obvious. And you are one of the rare ones, who feels the shift before it shows. That's why this message reached you, because heaven saw your sensitivity, and called it strength. Archangel Michael says there's a reason you're still here, there's a reason this found you on August 4th, 2025. Because this is the appointed moment. This is the day the scroll unrolls, the contract activates, the chain breaks, the door opens. All in silence, all in spirit, all in perfect timing. Take a breath, feel that, that's your confirmation. The world hasn't changed yet, but you have, and that's the beginning of everything. His sword is glowing, a sign that the decision you make in the next few moments holds the weight of generations. This is not about impulse, it's about alignment. Archangel Michael says your spirit already knows what to do, you've been prepared for this moment. The pain you endured, it forged you. The losses, they refined you. The silence, it strengthened your hearing, so you could recognize this whisper from heaven when it came. And now it has. Heaven has never been closer, you are not here by accident, and this is not just a message, it is a transaction, a sacred exchange between your soul and the divine. Your faith is the signature, your belief is the currency, your yes is the doorway. And if you've been wondering why so much has been falling apart, it's because everything not built on truth had to be dismantled, before this blessing could arrive. Michael says you were not cursed, you were being cleared. And now that space is open, the $15 million blessing isn't just circling above, it's descending, slowly, gently, with precision. But it still requires your agreement. Don't harden your heart now, don't let the fear of past disappointment block what heaven is trying to release. You prayed for a breakthrough, you asked for a sign, and Michael says this is it. Heaven doesn't waste words. If you're still here reading these lines, it's because you're meant to finish the journey. You're meant to carry the weight of this miracle, you're meant to be the proof that God still answers prayers, in wild unimaginable ways. That miracles haven't ended, they've only shifted form. And this one has taken the form of abundance, of overflow, of $15 million, that is tied directly to your life's purpose. And before your mind races, trying to figure out how, pause. You're not supposed to know how, you're supposed to trust who. And heaven already decided. God says this one, bless this one, send Michael, mark the date August 4th, 2025. That's not just a date, it's a threshold, it's the line between before and after. And if you honor it, if you say yes before this day ends, something irreversible begins. Michael is speaking again. He says your yes tonight will echo through eternity. Your lineage will feel it, your children's children will walk in blessings they didn't earn, but inherited because of your belief. That's the scale of this moment, that's why it feels so intense, that's why your heart is racing, that's why heaven paused everything, to make sure you saw this. And yes, others will mock, they'll roll their eyes, they'll say how can this be real? But they weren't in your room during those nights of pleading, they didn't see the tears you wiped alone, they don't hear the way you've been whispering, God I need you, please, I need something to change. But heaven heard it all, and this is the answer. Michael says this is heaven's response to your silence. And now silence is ending, noise will be replaced with clarity, fear with provision, confusion with divine order. But only if you act now. Open your spirit, whisper yes, write it down, speak it aloud, click the subscribe, claim your part. Heaven is watching, angels are listening, the scroll with your name is glowing, pulsing in the spirit, waiting to be released. And this part matters, the release is permanent. Once you agree, it doesn't get undone. Your timeline shifts, your purpose accelerates, your obstacles shrink. And yes, the road still won't be perfect, but it will be covered. Covered by grace, covered by guidance, covered by the sword of Archangel Michael, who says again, this is your inheritance, not earned, not deserved, but granted by divine right. You have cried long enough, you have waited long enough, you have wandered long enough. Now it's time to rise, time to step into the divine economy, where God is not limited by banks or systems. He moves through favor, through people, through timing, through miracles, through scrolls sealed in light. And one of those scrolls, maybe the last one for this season, has your name etched in it. Michael says don't think this is a promise for next year, or next time. This is now, this is August 4th. If you wait until it feels safe, you'll miss it. God is calling for a response now, not when you have it all figured out, not when everyone agrees, but now, in your vulnerability, in your uncertainty. That's where faith lives. And if you're afraid, that's okay. Heaven isn't looking for perfection, just permission, just a whisper, just a decision. Because every time someone says yes, heaven rejoices. And tonight the rejoicing is already beginning. The angels are starting to sing, Michael is ready to act, and the only thing left is your choice. He says this miracle carries generational weight, it's not just about money, it's about mission, about meaning, about moving you into the place you were always meant to be. And the clock is still ticking, don't scroll away, don't dismiss the stirring in your chest. That is your confirmation, that is heaven knocking again. So if you're wondering what happens next, here it is, the moment you align, things will begin to shift. Unseen strings will pull in your favor, people will say yes to you without knowing why. Opportunities will open without effort. The energy around you will feel lighter. Because when heaven moves, nothing remains the same. This message wasn't crafted to impress, it was delivered to transform. And transformation always begins with truth. The truth that you are worthy, that your past didn't cancel your promise, that your mistakes didn't eliminate your miracle, that you are still in position to receive, still on time, still in alignment, still chosen. Michael's final words are gentle but firm. This blessing is real, this moment is sacred, this message was sent to you, not as a chance, but as a calling. So rise, beloved, rise in belief, rise in trust, rise in obedience, and prepare yourself, because what's coming next will feel like a dream, but it will be your reality. Because what's coming to you isn't just a blessing, it's generational redemption. This miracle is bigger than your past pain, louder than your private disappointments, and stronger than every voice that told you to give up. Archangel Michael says, the chains your ancestors wore, you're breaking them now. The cycles they couldn't escape, you're ending them here. You're the one your bloodline prayed for, without knowing your name. This is why you couldn't quit, this is why the enemy tried so hard to distract you, delay you, and discourage you. Because this blessing isn't just about what's in your hands, it's about what flows through your lineage after you. God says, I waited for this moment, I held back storms, I redirected winds, I rerouted attacks, all so this divine appointment could happen. August 4th, 2025 is not just a date on the calendar. It is your spiritual crossover point. The heavens didn't open for inspiration, they opened for instruction. You were chosen to be the interruption to everything that's held your family back. You were chosen to step into a kind of wealth that speaks to your legacy, not your lack. The $15 million blessing is sacred. It is the divine confirmation that your prayers, your giving, your secret sacrifices, have not gone unnoticed. Michael says, I fought to get this scroll unsealed. I stood before the courts of heaven, and pleaded your name. I said, let them be the one. And God said yes, but the scroll cannot remain open forever. As you read this now, the final grains of sand are slipping through heaven's hourglass. Your name is still glowing, but fading. Not out of punishment, but urgency. And if you're still hesitating, Michael says, ask yourself, what else are you waiting for? What other sign do you need? The signs have already shown up, on clocks, in dreams, through whispers you couldn't explain. All of them were preparing you for this. If the $15 million seems too big to be real, ask yourself why you've been dreaming bigger than you've ever admitted out loud. That wasn't fantasy, it was divine memory. Your soul remembers the blessing it came here to claim. Your spirit recognizes this, as the moment it's been prepared for. And heaven doesn't send a message this specific, this loud, for no reason. There's no mistake in the numbers, no coincidence in the timing. There is only purpose, pure, divine, holy purpose. So what now? Michael says, now you act, now you believe, now you speak. If you haven't whispered it yet, do it. Say it even if your voice trembles, I receive it, I believe this is for me, I am ready. Say it and the atmosphere around you will shift. You'll feel something unseen click into place. That pressure in your chest will release, that confusion in your mind will calm. Because the second your yes aligns with heaven's yes, the miracle is activated. It's already hovering, it's already looking for the landing strip of your obedience. And yes, this is why so few receive blessings like this, not because they're unworthy, but because they hesitated too long. They scrolled, they doubted, they delayed. But not you, you stayed, you read, you believed. That's why heaven is responding to you, that's why Michael was allowed to say your name before God's throne. Because you didn't just hear the message, you felt it. And in the spiritual realm, that's the activation key. Michael says, the wealth isn't just monetary, it's mission fuel. The $15 million is the tool. The purpose is what it builds. That center you've dreamed of creating, that's why you need overflow. Those scholarships for children who feel forgotten, that's why you need this blessing. That organization for single mothers, that program for healing trauma, that foundation for legacy, you weren't just dreaming those things, you were seeing prophetic previews of what you're called to build. And if you're still wondering why it had to be this hard, Michael says, because you were called to carry something rare. And rare things require intense preparation. You've been in the fire, not to be destroyed, but to be refined. And now you're stepping out of that fire, shining. Not burnt, but brighter, not broken, but bolder. That's why heaven moved today, that's why Michael was sent again, because your spirit is finally ready to hold what your heart has longed for. This is not hype, this is not emotional manipulation, this is holy alignment. You are in the exact position, at the exact time, with the exact words God needed you to hear. Heaven is watching, the scroll is still open, but not for long. Archangel Michael says, this is the spiritual moment where everything turns. This is the divine timestamp that will echo in eternity. You will mark this day forever, as the moment it all shifted. And not just for you, for everyone who touches your life after this. This blessing isn't selfish, it's sacred. And your yes doesn't just unlock doors for you, it unlocks corridors for entire generations behind you. So write it down, speak it out, move in faith. Whether it's by subscribing, declaring, journaling, sowing, praising, do something to show heaven you've received it. Because faith is action. And right now the heavens are still waiting on yours. Michael is still here, watching with eyes full of fire and love. He says, you've made it to the end of the message, but the beginning of your miracle. Now finish it, seal it, and watch how fast God moves. All of heaven is in agreement, the blessing is ready, the angels are positioned, the system is aligned, the door is open. And all you have to do is walk through. And that belief, your quiet, unshakable belief, is what caused heaven to act. Michael says, every time you felt forgotten, heaven was planning this very moment. Every time you cried in silence, it echoed through the corridors of the spirit realm. And now everything that was orchestrated behind the veil, is manifesting in front of your eyes. You didn't just survive, you endured, and not 1 second of that pain was wasted. God stored it all, and now He's turning every ounce of sorrow, into a miracle that cannot be denied. This isn't just repayment, it's restoration with interest. The kind that makes people say, only God could have done this. You see, when God wants to make a statement, He doesn't whisper, He makes it loud, He makes it undeniable. He picks someone the world least expects, and He blesses them in a way no one can ignore. That's you, that's what this is. And Michael says, do not let the lies of the past cancel the truth of this moment. You are not broken, you are not behind, you are not late, you are right on time, divine time. And the $15 million is only the beginning. It's a sign, a seal, a confirmation, that your next season has already begun. Look around, hasn't everything already started to feel different? Hasn't the air shifted? That's not your imagination, that's the vibration of breakthrough, wrapping itself around your reality. And if your heart still races when you read this, it's because your spirit recognizes that it's already been written. Michael says, this miracle was predestined. Your only job was to stay open long enough to receive it. And you did, even when it hurt, even when you doubted, even when you thought you were disqualified, you kept showing up. And that faith has now matured into fulfillment. But Michael is serious now. He says, if you walk away from this moment with apathy, the scroll cannot remain open. That golden scroll, with your name etched into eternity, it won't wait forever. And while God is patient, divine windows are brief. You were meant to catch this wind, not watch it pass. That's why you can't delay anymore. That's why the final instruction remains the same, if you haven't subscribed, do it now. Not for applause, not for attention, but because it seals your name in the Spirit. Because it tells heaven, yes I heard, yes I believe, yes I'm ready. And once you take that step, something hidden in the heavens begins to unlock. Michael says, it's like a vault opening, one that has been protected by angels for generations. Stored inside are blessings with your name, your DNA, your prayers embedded into their fabric. They were never lost, they were never denied, only delayed, until your belief met the right moment. And that moment is now. Listen to your body, hasn't it felt lighter since you began reading? That's not just emotion, that's spiritual evidence. The heaviness is lifting, the fog is clearing, your spiritual posture is shifting, from begging to receiving. And that's why Archangel Michael is still here. Because something this massive, doesn't just fall into your lap, it enters your life when your alignment matches your assignment. And what is that assignment? To carry light, to reflect heaven, to build, to bless, to break generational chains, without breaking yourself in the process. This $15 million miracle, it is not just currency, it is calling. It is the bridge, between who you were, and who heaven always saw you becoming. And now for the first time, the two versions of you are merging. The past no longer has power, the future is no longer distant, it's here, it's happening, it's holy. Michael says, mark this day, write it down, record it if you have to. But never forget what you felt. Because years from now, when your life looks unrecognizable in the best way, you'll remember this exact moment. You'll remember the rush in your chest, the whisper in your soul, the message you almost scrolled past, but didn't. And you'll say, that was the day everything turned. And heaven will agree. Let them talk, let them question, let them doubt. Their opinions cannot stop what heaven has started. You weren't chosen because of them, you were chosen in spite of them. And Michael wants you to know this, you are not crazy for believing, you are courageous. You are not delusional, you are divinely appointed. And what's coming will silence every critic. Because the glory that's about to rest on your life, will make even your enemies bless your name in private. So as the final minutes of this sacred moment tick away, don't just feel the shift, respond to it. Let it change how you walk, how you speak, how you plan. Start expecting miracles, start planning for abundance, start speaking from victory, not victimhood. You've been through enough, you've given enough, now it's time to receive without guilt. And Michael says, if you can believe for $15 million, you can believe for anything. Because the same faith it takes to receive this, will open doors you didn't even know existed. Your story will be told, not just by you, but by others who witnessed the transformation. People will call it luck, don't correct them, just smile. Because you'll know it wasn't luck, it was love. God's love, heaven's timing, Michael's faith in you, and your faith in the message. That's what changed it all, that's what released it, that's what started the rain. So breathe, stand tall, lift your head. You made it to the moment prophets dreamed about. You made it to the message that shifts legacies. You made it to the final seal. And now heaven says, let the floodgates open. Michael nods, the scroll is fully closed, the assignment is active, the angels are already moving in formation. They're not just carrying blessings, they're carrying your testimony. And in the days to come, it will begin to show. A call, an email, a door that was previously shut, now suddenly wide open. Don't second guess it, don't question it, just walk through. Because when heaven clears a path, your only job is to follow it. And as you do remember this, you were chosen, you were trusted, and you were deeply, completely, eternally loved. Michael's final words ring clear through the veil, they didn't miss it this time, they claimed it, and now it is done. Michael has now returned to the heavenly realm, but he left a blessing behind him, hovering just above you, waiting to settle in. It's invisible to the eyes, but your soul can feel it, like a warmth that doesn't come from sunlight, a presence that doesn't cast a shadow, but still fills the room. And this presence won't leave, until the full promise has arrived. That's how serious heaven is about this moment, that's how determined the angels are to see this through. The scrolls have already been archived, with your name written in gold, your yes recorded in the chambers of divine memory. And now the angels assigned to you, are preparing your next steps. They will guide you, through the whispers, through the nudges, through the sudden insights you can't explain. You'll start hearing clearer, seeing sharper. You'll begin to notice the right doorways opening, at the right time. And they won't make sense to the logical mind, but they'll make perfect sense to your spirit. That's how you'll know you've stepped into the miracle zone. Archangel Michael said it once before, this is not about understanding, this is about trusting. And now that you've trusted, the divine alignment has been triggered. There's no turning back now. And when people start asking what's changed, because they will, you don't need to give them the full story. You only need to say, I believed. That's enough. That belief shook the heavens. It was the belief that pulled this down, from a place of waiting, into a place of manifestation. The $15 million miracle is not just material, it's magnetic. It pulls everything else into order. The relationships you lost will be replaced, with ones ordained. The time you thought was wasted, will suddenly become the foundation for purpose. The heartbreak that nearly destroyed you will turn into the very story that heals others. And the places you once felt rejected from will now be asking for your presence. This blessing is not isolated, it's not small, it's a ripple that will grow into waves that move generations. What you've stepped into is not just a gift, it's a mantle. You are now carrying something sacred, something weighty, something real. And your energy will shift. The people around you may feel it, before you even speak. Some will be drawn to it, others will resist it, but no one will ignore it. Heaven never anoints in silence, there is always a glow, and yours has just begun to shine. So do not shrink now, do not apologize for this elevation. You didn't steal it, you didn't fake it, you received it. And receiving is holy, receiving is powerful. Heaven loves a heart that receives, with humility and confidence, all at once. That's who you are now, a receiver, a carrier, a vessel of divine flow. Michael says, let it move through you, let the money serve the mission, let the light spill over, let your joy become contagious. Because this blessing wasn't given to stop with you, it was given to flow through you, to reach the forgotten, to uplift the weary, to feed the hungry, to clothe the spirit of the broken. And as this anointing settles deeper, don't be surprised if you start dreaming differently. Don't be shocked if visions come more clearly now, or if your desires suddenly shift. That's heaven recalibrating your internal compass, that's the Spirit adjusting your life to match your blessing. Some old habits will fall away, some distractions will lose their grip. You won't have to force it, it will happen naturally, beautifully, gently, because when God blesses you, He also prepares you to carry it. Archangel Michael may have ascended, but the instructions remain active. You must still protect what you've received. Not everyone will understand this shift, and that's okay. Some people can only love you at the level you used to be, not the level you're rising into. Let them go with peace, let them misunderstand without argument. You do not need to explain what God whispered to you in the dark. Your light will do the talking, your breakthrough will be louder than their doubt. And now you'll begin to see miracles in motion. The phone call that changes your direction. The email that opens a financial floodgate. The message from someone who once overlooked you, now returning with honor. These are not accidents, these are assignments. This is how heaven works, when someone finally says yes. Archangel Michael says, your obedience has activated the schedule. Everything is now on divine timing. And that timing will not delay, that timing will arrive with precision and peace. So take this final breath, before the shift begins in full. Breathe in the moment, breathe in the promise, breathe in the knowing, that something ancient just broke loose in your favor. Heaven kept it sealed until now, and now that it's open, nothing can reverse it. You are no longer in the waiting season, you are in the walking season, the reaping season. Everything changes from here. And when you wake up tomorrow, even if the physical hasn't caught up yet, hold this truth like fire in your chest, the miracle is already yours, the shift has already occurred, the blessing is already moving. You are not the same, you will never be the same. And the world is about to find out exactly why. And just like that, the atmosphere around your name is different. You won't need to announce what's coming, your presence will do it for you. Doors that were once shut without reason, will now open without effort. People who once overlooked you, will feel a pull they can't explain. It's not manipulation, it's not persuasion, it's favor. It's divine confirmation, responding to your yes. Heaven doesn't forget who said yes, when no one was watching. And you did, that's why it's your turn now. Michael whispers, you are not stepping into a season, you're stepping into your destiny. There is no turning back after this. You've crossed the threshold, you've touched something holy. The alignment is real, the blessing is active, the miracle has started moving through dimensions, passing through systems, breaking delays, bypassing bureaucracy, slipping past obstacles designed to keep others out, because this wasn't for others, it was for you, tailored, timed, triggered by obedience. And now that obedience has summoned the harvest, watch how ease begins to replace resistance. Where there was once friction, now there is flow. Where there was lack, now there is overflow. Heaven doesn't just fill empty hands, it fills them until they pour. You won't just be blessed, you'll become the blessing. That's the divine equation. When God trusts you with abundance, it's because He knows you'll multiply it into love. And Michael wants you to know this wasn't a one-time thing, this was a door. You're walking into a lifestyle of miracles, sudden provision, divine appointments, supernatural clarity. Expect it now, not later, not next year, now. Live in expectancy, not desperation. Speak like someone who's already received, plan like someone who already has resources, love like someone who knows they're backed by angels. Because you are. And the number, that $15 million. It's only the beginning. It's a key to unlock greater things, things you haven't even dared to dream yet. Heaven isn't finished with you, in fact it's only getting started. And every time you feel fear rising again, every time doubt knocks on your heart, come back to this moment. Remember this shift, feel it in your bones. Your faith didn't just move your life, it moved heaven, and heaven moves everything else. The scroll is sealed with your yes, the blessing is permanent, the promise is live. And from now on, the only thing left to do, is walk it out. Walk in your light, walk in your wealth, walk in your calling. And wherever you go, let the glow remind you, you were chosen, you were found, you were believed in. And most of all, you said yes. Amen.